because I had in my mind that there was one sunscreen that was perfect for me, that would apply to all situations, all circumstances, and to all people. I don't know where I got that from. Understanding sunscreen limitations. Let's talk about that. The myth of the perfect sunscreen is why the idea of a single perfect sunscreen is a myth. Why is this a myth? We're going to talk about that. No sunscreen can block 100% of UV rays. And then the difference between chemical and physical sunscreens. All of those are important limitations to know about sunscreens. What are some sunscreen limitations? I've listed some there. The sun protection factor is a limitation, the SPF. Oftentimes the sunscreen I enjoy is SPF 30. The texture is a big limitation, right? Lisa just put down the stickiness factor. Yeah, I don't like sticky. I also don't really enjoy that silicone feel, like the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen. My husband loves that one. And I just, for some reason, that silicone just feels weird on my fingers. White cast is a limitation, especially for darker skin. But I find for pale light skin, for myself, that if it has a white cast on me, oh my goodness, you know it's going to be disastrous for darker skin tones, which is why I've been trying to put in my shorts videos people of different skin tones, because I know it's hard. A lot of people will ask in my videos if it has a white cast, and I'll look at their profile picture and I'm thinking their skin is darker than mine, but I don't know if it's dark enough to get a white cast. That's always a hard question for me. Water resistant, some are, some aren't. Interaction with other skincare or makeup products, that peeling. Oh, when you get you put your skincare on and then you put your sunscreen on and it starts to peel. Oh. And then color or tone. That's a huge limitation for sunscreens for me. I feel like there are more companies now than there were 3 years ago when I was diagnosed that have a range of sunscreen tones. Lisa says sunscreen wears off in a few hours. Yeah, that's a huge limitation. Who wants to set their watch? I used to do that. I used to set my watch because I was so terrified of getting melanoma skin cancer again that I would set a reminders throughout the day, and it would go off every 2 hours. And it just caused me anxiety. I don't think I ever shared that with you all. I don't do that anymore. And stinging in your eyes. Yep. So that's why I've just resolved myself to know that I am just going to have to use a separate sunscreen most of the time around my eyes. It's octisalate, I'm pretty sure, is the UV filter that my eyes are so sensitive to. The Kahi Aqua Balm SPF 50 are on my eyes, and there's a Dewy Tree Urban Shade Peachy Tone Up Stick. Those two I would just want to keep on hand, so that it's just a quick one and go and I don't have to worry about stinging my eyes. What does SPF mean? I got this from skincancer.org. The SPF number is the level of protection that sunscreen provides against the UVB rays, which are the main cause of sunburn. Sunscreens labeled with SPFs as high as 100 plus are available. However, in the US, sunscreens with the SPF lower than 15 must include a warning on the label stating that the product has been shown only to prevent sunburn and not skin cancer or early skin aging. A higher SPF number means more UVB protection. I thought this was interesting that I'm still seeing sunscreen companies putting out SPF 15 products that will specifically say brown better or tan, deeper tan. And I don't understand that. Sunbum has kind of disappointed me that they're still making tanning oils, traditional tanning oils, because doesn't that defeat the point? Like, why are we still making those? I mean, I understand that there's still a group of people who want to tan and who could care less about skin cancer. They just want to tan and they want to get the deepest, darkest tan possible. I get that. So there is a market, and companies are still able to make money off those people. But if your mission, I'm thinking of vacation sunscreen, don't they do this too? Banana Boat, Hawaiian Tropic, I'm pretty sure those as well, Copper Tone, all make tanning oils or browning oils. But if their point in all of their literature says that they are trying to reduce skin cancer, they're trying to get people aware of sunscreen, then why are they still making these products? That's what I don't understand. Sunscreen products can only be labeled broad spectrum if they have been tested and shown to protect against both UVA and UVB rays. Sunscreens that help protect against UVA rays might include avobenzone, zinc oxide, and titanium dioxide. Now remember, UVA are the anti-aging and the skin cancer causing rays, and UVB are the ones that just give us a sunburn. Only broad spectrum sunscreen products with an SPF of 15 or higher can state that they can help protect against skin cancer and early skin aging if used as directed with other sun protection measures. I have been noticing that more sunscreens on the bottle or on the packaging have been giving us more instructions about reapplying and also about using sunscreen alongside UPF clothing or hats or sunglasses, other sun protection measures, saying that sunscreen isn't enough to prevent us from getting skin cancer, that it should be used in conjunction with these other sun protective measures, and also seeking shade. A lot of them will specifically say, make sure you seek shade and give you the time of days to seek shade, which is fantastic. That is definitely has been a missing piece on the back of our sunscreen bottles, are actual instructions. So I'm loving that they are pointing out that you can't just put it on one time, you have to reapply. You have to use, all these other sun protection measures to prevent not just burning, but also skin cancer. Now I need them to also put the dosage. Sunscreen companies, we need the dosage on the back of the bottle, because your sunscreens are all different thicknesses. They spread differently. They weigh different amounts. And so this half of a teaspoon for your entire face, or a quarter for your face and another quarter for your ears and neck, that isn't enough instruction for us, because sometimes that's too much for some of your sunscreens, and sometimes it's not enough. I constantly get questions about how much should I apply, and I have those same questions too. I don't want to give you the wrong information. Sunscreen is considered a drug by the FDA here in the States, and so therefore I'm not supposed to be giving dosage instructions. Only a medical professional is supposed to be giving dosage instructions. But I understand everybody's frustrations. We all want dosage amounts. We want to make sure we're putting on the proper amount, but we also, sunscreens are expensive. We don't want to feel like we're wasting what little sunscreen there is in the bottle. That's another gripe of mine. Limitations of high SPF numbers. We know there are limitations, but when you're first starting out, you just think, oh, the higher the number, SPF 100, that's definite protection. Like, I'm not getting any sun at all. I remember prior to getting skin cancer, I always went for SPF 15 or SPF 30. I very rarely did SPF 50 because I was like, oh my goodness, the sun is not going to tan me at all at SPF 50. I'm not going to get any sun at all. Therefore, SPF 15 or SPF 30, that is the magic number. And then it would just burn. This was confusing to me at first. I'm going to read it slow. You get the equivalent of 1 minute of UVB rays for a certain amount of time you spend in the sun. The amount of time is based on the SPF level of the product. For example, a sunscreen with SPF 30 gives the equivalent of 1 minute of UVB burning rays for each 30 minutes you spend in the sun. That means 1 hour in the sun wearing SPF 30 sunscreen is the same as spending 2 minutes in the sun totally unprotected. Higher SPF numbers do mean more protection, but the higher you go, the smaller the difference becomes. And then it lists the differences there, which I thought was helpful, of how much of the UVB rays are being filtered out for SPF 15, SPF 30, SPF 50, and SPF 100, which you'll see there at the bottom. SPF 100 only filters out about 99% of rays, which is a lot. But it's not much difference between SPF 50 and SPF 100. You only got a 1% difference there. And then a 1% difference between SPF 30 and SPF 50.